Compañeros, buenas tardes. Aquí su servidor Víctor Bugarín. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Aquí estamos con mi gran amigo Toddy, como dicen los filipinos. ¿Cómo estás, Toddy?
¿Cómo estás?
Todd Dickson. ¿Cómo estás, mi amigo Todd?
Good to be here.
Good to be here.
Yes, sir.
Acabamos de llegar del barbecue de Jeff Hotspeth, Cedar Creek.
Yes.
Good turnout.
Good turnout. 1,100 or so people and good family, friendship, fellowship.
Jeff's a good person.
Beautiful farm. I learned a lot when I was up there.
I think it's probably the nicest farm in the States.
Yes, I believe it is. I tried to pick up a few things while I was there that we will put into our farm going forward. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We had an interview with Karen Easmith. And, well, actually with Bobby Fairchild, and then Carol kind of walked into the interview, and then I put him in the interview.
That's right.
So that's gonna be a classic interview.
Yes, sir.
I don't think we've never been an interview with Carol and him together.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was excited about that. What do you think of all the people at the barbecue?
They were nice, very opening, beautiful place, beautiful day.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day, and then everybody come and went, and you could tell they were really there and to have a good time and to hang out.
Okay.
It went well. It went very well.
Where are you from?
My name's Todd. I live in El Dorado, Arkansas.
Okay.
Been here all my life, same place.
And was your daddy a cocker?
Yes, sir. My daddy was a cocker.
We've known each other for, well, tenemos conociéndonos 25 años. Known for what, 22 years now?
Yeah, probably 22 years.
22 years.
The Bayou Club days when it was rolling.
Cuando estaba el Bayou abierto, Bayou, Sunset, Copper State.
Right.
Y era uno de los partidos muy, muy duro. And then we've been friends for, throughout the years.
That's right.
And then I started getting my products last year.
Yes, sir.
What have you been thinking about products?
I've had very good success with the babies with this coxswain medicine. I just used it like you told me to do. And they're very, very healthy this year.
Right.
Very, very healthy.
Did you use the 5500 and the false?
Yes, sir. On the one with the false, that was the one I took up to 0.33 instead of 0.25.
Que lo usa con, le pone .33 en vez de .25, and you liked it?
Yes.
It helps with joints and...
Yes. Well, it's just everything about phosphorus is good for the interior of a chicken, from the hand-eye coordination to the joints to the muscle tissue. Phosphorus is good to help break down the nutrients in the feed. It's just a good product.
Yeah. For us, it helps us digest, so the body can absorb all the vitamins a lot better, right?
Right, that's correct.
Okay. So your daddy was a cocker?
Yes, yeah, right here on this very farm. Where mine and my wife's house sits now, it used to be our tie cord yard, and where my baby chicken room is where mine and my daddy's cock house was, and we just had a big open barn back in them days and cock boxes in one corner, and we used to play the gaff back years ago because everybody did.
When it was legal?
Yeah, back when it was legal, yes.
And what kind of chickens you still had?
Now, my daddy, he had bullicos, Doms.
Oh, no.
Yes, he did. They were not fancy. He crossed them with Murphy, and they were double-handed, and that's all they had. They was not the best chickens in the world, but back then, all the old men, what they had, well, they lived and died with it. If some of the old men around here had hatches, they lived and died with hatches.
So they had hatches for the
30, for their whole life. Nobody went off years ago. Whatever your little community had, the same people had the same chickens the whole time. Some of the guys that was older than me still actually have the same chickens they had back then, whether they're the best or whether they're not the best. Yeah.
Things have changed. Me and you were friends with Charlie Ibel.
Right, that's right.
And Charlie told me he got his grays. There were two brothers, each fight them grays at some pit. And they would never let the grays out.
That's right.
And then he said that one of the brothers, when they had the show, and after the show, they would sacrificed the roosters, the one that were
Right.
And I guess they slit the throat and they threw it in the trash.
Right.
It was still alive, and Abel got it.
That's right. Well, they had actually, the story goes that they had took the heels off of him and they thought he was done, finished, dead. Well, they throwed him in what they used to call that pile, and the rooster kind of come back too. Well, I don't know if it's Carol or Rudy got the rooster and brought him home.
Charlie,
and then that's how the Abel Grays started 50 years ago. And matter of fact, Charlie's still doing well with them today.
And
it all goes back
to the birds were mad as hell.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yes, sir.
And that was back then. You know, you got raised with the family.
That's right.
You stayed, and then your daddy stayed with the family, and then you inherited the family.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
And now it went from one fucking side to the way
to the other side. You know, but back years ago, a lot of people that had the good chickens, they would not allow them out. So it wasn't like you could drive up to this guy's house who's doing all the winning and say, hey, I want to buy a rooster and 6 hens. Back then, nobody sold nothing. So basically what you had is what you had to work with.
Wow.
And, you know, it is what it is. It was what it was. Whereas today's society, you can literally buy good chickens if you know where to go and how to breed them.
Or you can buy good stories.
Huh?
Or you can buy good stories.
Or you can buy name brand stories. Yes, sir.
And I mean, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but me voy a poner en problemas. I think 90% of the trios sold through Facebook and through the cell phone,
right,
are junk.
Average or below average, because I try to be a positive person.
They're
right.
Crossed.
That's right.
Crossed.
Flock bred.
Right. Un gallo con 20 gallinas. Just completely chicken peddlers. Even the ones that weren't chicken peddlers are now chicken peddlers.
Right.
And I think it's horrible. But then I see the white guy side, where he's got 100 Mexicans calling him every day for trios, and he's only got 10 trios, and they're offering him
triple the money,
$2,000, $3,000, $3,500 for a trio, and they don't have him. And what do they do?
Well, you go get them.
You go get them, yeah.
Right.
So I think I think people deep down they know,
right,
and
but they're trying to reach out and get that hope,
and they don't care,
right?
Because I mean, we talked about that yesterday. We had a little short video, right?
Right. No, I had a short video, and you was being a Mexican trying to go get you some whites and blues and piles, and I was telling you need to stick with solid chickens. Yeah. I believe in the older I've gotten, I done got old and fat, and I'm a lot more wise as I've gotten older and fat. Solid chickens win tournaments, and the off-colored chickens are some of the other líneas we'll talk about later. There'll be one good one out of every 8. But the other 7 are average or below average was kind of the discussion we had. Now, like if you had 8 off-colored chickens, there's always that one that shows out. Well, everybody wants to talk about that one. When I was a kid, a lot of the old men had like old non-cut and hatch roosters. Well, one would win 2 hours,
right,
and they'd talk about that one, but they wouldn't tell you about the other 3 that lost that same weekend,
But even now, I mean, you can find solid hash kelso families, hash kelso, Chevrolet, Grace. Ahorita puedes encontrar hash kelso, giros, Albanese, solid lines.
Well, that's what I've done over the last 3, 4, and 5 years myself. I had to learn a valuable lesson, and I got caught 2 different times in the fad of everybody wants to buy this. Well, we got a beautiful farm, so
Dice que vamos a hacer la entrevista la vamos a hacer de los dos modos. Vamos a hacer parte de inglés y parte de español. Dice que él también le ha pasado a él igual también él tenía líneas sólidas y la gente quería asiles y pintos y fue compró asiles y pintos. You got Spangles and
Asios.
Kelso Spangles and Asios.
Yeah.
And you got the right ones. You got them from
Mr.
Wallace.
Wallace, yes.
You don't.
But here was our problem. in 2015, 2017, 2018, Beto and Michael whooped everybody in Mexico.
Él le vendía a Beto Barbas y a Michael de Tijuana. Y lo que fue 2015, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah. 15, 17, 18, they were on top of the world.
15 and 16 too?
No, I think 16, they had somebody else's chickens.
15,
There was
17,
a skill.
18, 3 years.
Yeah, there was 3 years out of 4.
3 días de 4 años.
Right.
Excepcional. Dominando, muy dominante. Con esos asiles coloraditos limonados. Lemon hackle asios.
Yes.
They came Spango and lemon hackle.
No, they all come red and lemon hackle.
Todos salieron rojos limonados. And you did really, really good.
That's right. When they were dark, we did really, really good. But the more we bred, and this goes back to any cross of any version of anybody's chickens, the more you breed, if they get different and inconsistent, you need to call a timeout, stop what you're doing, and try to figure out what went wrong, because that's what's happened to us over the last 2 or 3 years. Well, I had went and got American fowl and brought in. Well, my thinking was, I'll go half American and I'll go half ASIL. Well, when the ASIL started getting real inconsistent, they went way down on us. Where they were healthy, they were beautiful, they would do good at home. They were very gentle. They were 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, perfect. But when you put them in the car, they were no bueno.
Dice que aquí se miran muy bien, configuración perfecta, mansitos, sanos, pero cuando empezó a salir más y más limonados, se empezó a perderlos, la línea. Dice que cuando tengas una línea y algo sale diferente y baja tu porcentaje, tienes que parar y tener cuidado y ver qué pasó. So what happened?
Well, what had happened was we was doing what we always do. I have got customers that come every year, and they had got a few Americans, a few ASILs. Well, the ASILs didn't do no good, the Americans did good. Well, I got to hauling them. The ASILs didn't do no good, and then the Americans got on a big run. Well, I was calling back home and saying, hey, we're doing this, and this is not doing this, and this is doing that. Well, what are we doing wrong? Well, it was just when it went down on us, it went down. Inconsistent is what it was.
Era muy inconsistentes los asiles, empezaron a perder más y más, y los navajeros empezaron a ganar más y más. Entonces, you gave away a lot of roosters, right?
408.
Regaló 408 gallos regalados.
Vámonos.
You didn't sell them.
Vámonos.
And you gave them away.
I killed. There was a few that was like missing one toenail or missing one tail feather, and I usually give them to the local guys that come help me, like work on Sunday. I'd say, come help me and we'll do this, and then I'll pay you money. No. I said, get you a rooster. Well, me and my wife every year, we'll take the leftovers and play the leftovers. We sell the number ones. You can come to my farm, go out there.
Él siempre ven todo lo bueno y lo demás, lo que le dejan, es con lo que él juega. Se va, se divierte. Pero dice que por los 408 gallos los regaló. You gave them away.
Yeah, give them
porque
away.
no tenían un buen porcentaje.
That's
That
right.
takes a lot of balls.
It does. And we killed the brood stock. That was our biggest, is half of our system went down. But I'm thankful that I had already acquired the solid American hatch and gray and the round-head and radios, and had done started.
Ya había empezado a tener familia también de los radios, los hatches, los giros.
Right.
Hatch radio.
Hatch radio.
Hatch radio.
Gray radio.
And roundhead.
That's right, because I breed the green-legged gray rooster to the radio pullets, and I breed the green-legged gray rooster to the roundhead pullets.
Entonces agarró giros, hatches, cabeza redonda y gray, hatch, roundhead,
radio
y radio.
I got 4 líneas.
Tiene 4 líneas y esas fueron las que empezaron a ganar. But we talked about it, and we saw that with me.
Right.
We were at Jeff's place.
Right. Yeah. Let me tell the story. So we're at Jeff's place, and I'm telling you what I've been through, and how I've completely overhauled my breeding program the last 3 years, and I've gone back to solid American, honest roosters with style and cut.
Que ya ahorita se fue por lo americano, líneas sólidas con corte y casta.
Okay, so we ride and we talk and we talk and we're together all day. And I'm telling you, no more fads for me, no more aces for me, no more off-colored chickens
Dice
for me, no more,
que ya, para, ya, no, ya nada de asiles,
no más.
ni colores raros, nada, ya estuvo.
Solid American roosters that can win is all I will have the rest of my life.
Gallos sólidos que pueden ganar con corte y casta.
And a 21-year-old white guy walks up and said, I got white, black, gray, blue crosses, and I made my own chicken. And Victor Boogerine, you kept getting happy, and I'm like,
Que había un muchacho que...
come on.
The kid was respectful, and he was a good kid. I mean,
I was watching the Mexican in you that wanted the white, blue, black hatch.
estaba un muchacho y que hizo una familia de blancos y le agregó giro, negro y leapers.
It's like it had 5 lines in one chicken.
4 lines.
Because one of the hatches was spangled and one of the hatches was red. It's 2 different hatch families. And I thought you were going to like ride home with the kid. And I'm telling you, come on.
Que me puse bien emocionado porque ya quiero los blancos, yo también yo.
No bueno. No bueno. No bueno, Victor.
But we're saying that every Mexican does that.
And I'll be honest with you. I've got some of my Mexican amigos in America that's come out here and got chickens, or I've hauled them chickens, and we do a little winning. We do our fair share. For leftovers, we do our fair share of winning. I've had them win money with me and then go buy a trio for some big name guy, take it home, put it in a pen, and 3 years later, they're still bragging because they have that big name.
Que dice que a la gente ganada con sus líneas y vienen con él, son amigos de él, van y compran un trío de un famoso. 3 años después tienen el trío, no ganan con ellos, pero emocionados porque tienen el trío de fulano.
When they could have went to where I got my chickens, or to me, and got solid, honest chickens from me or the family we deal with, and I'm like, why? If we're winning with hatch radios, why go get white blues like every Mexican does? Or if we're winning with gray roundheads, why go buy that big sweater trio, in my opinion?
Que si vas a estar ganando con radio, hatches, giros, ¿para qué ir a comprar esos cenizos, búlicos, gallinas de hennies, asiles, japs?
Because in my opinion, and I'm not talking about nobody's chickens, good or bad. Everybody breeds what they want. Everybody has what they want. Everybody can do what they want. But it seems like the same things that have won throughout our life. Hatch grays, hatch kelsos, hatch radios, hatch roundheads just continue to show up and win. And then every once in a while, one of them off-color ones win every 7 years.
Dice que,
and everybody go wild.
Que por años y años, 40, 50, 80 años, han ganado los hatches, los kelsons, los albanese, los radios.
That's right.
Los giros han ganado. Y en vez en cuando llega una familia de prietos, blacks, búlicos, gallinas, asiles. Ganan 1 año, 2 años, y ya todo el mundo, everybody wants them.
That's right. Everybody wants them.
And then 2-3 years, everybody gets rid of them.
Right. You would be surprised.
Y ya todo el mundo los quiere, agarran, todo el mundo empezaba a vender gallinas, o asiles, o japoneses, o búlicos, o blancos, cenizos, polacos, topis. Todo el mundo los quiere un chingo. They all start raising a bunch.
Right.
Everybody's got them now.
That's right.
And then everybody goes through them.
That's right. We've seen it all come and go through the years. But what always amazes me with the chicken world is we see one of our amigos back when it was legal, or down in Mexico or in the Philippines. One guy will always be close or do well or do good because he's got 2 lines or 3 lines. Mm-hmm. And he sells them lines. Okay? I know where the good chickens are in America right now, or Mexico, or the Philippines, for brood fowl. And some people will go and get anything and everything and all other things but that. It's like they don't want that opportunity to get better. You know, we talk about the percentages in life, how every year if you tried to get 3% better in 10 years, you'd be 30% better. Well, if you was already at 60% and you're climbing up to 90%. Everything in life is percentages. Everything. So, in my opinion, and I'm not the best and I'm not perfect, but why would you go for 1 out of 8 when you could get something solid and honest and get 5 or 6 or 7 out of 8? Does that make sense?
No.
Because you're a Mexican.
So, but 1 out of 8, 1 out of 8 wins, or
1 out of 8 wins with the off color.
Okay. Que por qué la gente compra colores raros para ganar 1 de 8 que cuando puede ganar 5 o 6 de 8.
Right.
You can win 5, 6
or 7 out of 8 with good, solid, honest product.
Con gallos honestos, sólidos. And it's funny how a couple of years ago nobody wanted hatches. You couldn't sell a hatch cock.
You couldn't sell hatch roosters.
Hace años no podía vender un gallo hatch. Pata verde no lo podía vender. And now they're coming back. Ya están regresando para atrás.
Right. You know, me and Johnny Stansel used to talk a lot on the phone, and his right hand, well, his boss is Kimberly. Kimberly's the key to the success. And
que era amigo de John Stansel y su esposa.
And Miss Kimberly is probably one of the best, but she don't get the recognition and respect because Johnny always got it, and they were on top of the world.
Yo más respeto a él que a ella, pero ella la parte atrás de él.
Till he got sick. Well, after he got sick, Sammy was helping. Sammy Smith from Mount Pleasant, Texas, and Uncle Sammy, he's the one that helped me a lot on my feeding.
Y el Uncle Sammy, cuando se puso malo Johnny Stansel, llegó este Sammy Smith y él fue que lo enseñó a cuidar.
And one of the things that Johnny always said that always stuck in my mind is everything goes in 3-year cycles. It's like everybody wants hatch chickens. No, Johnny said that.
Que Johnny Stansel decía que todo va en ciclo de 3 años. Por 3 años quieren. That's true.
That's true. And here's your deal with it. It's like right now, there's a line that everybody wants, and people are having them like 1 good day and then 4 bad days, and they're trying to blame their feeder or their partner or their other guy or their pitter when their chickens are different or whatever.
Que ahorita van una vez y ganan y pierden 3 o 4 veces y le están echando la culpa al soltador, al pastor, a la comida, the medicine, the feed,
but
the next door neighbor.
That's right.
But they never go back to the base, which is...
They never look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Or like they'll get hatch roosters.
Ven todo, pero no ven la base donde llegó.
That's right. But here's the deal. I'm going to say this. Like if they get hatch roosters for 3 years and they have a bad day, they say, oh, they can't cut. Or they'll get grays for 3 years and then they'll say, oh, we're going to change over to something else. It's like it's never satisfactory.
Nunca queda satisfecho con una línea. Siempre quieren agarrar más y más y más líneas. You know, Jeff Husbeth told me, he goes, if I were to just show, I would have 2.
That's right.
Maybe 3 families.
That's right.
That's it. Así es Jeff, que si él nomás jugaba, él tuviera 1, 2 o 3 familias máximo.
The only reason we have 4, the only reason we have 4 is because the family that takes care of me has got, in my opinion, the best hatch, grays, and radios in America, and I had already got the round heads. Well, when I went to making the crosses, every cross has worked so far.
Que él agarró la mejor familia de una familia que tiene los mejores radios, giros, hatches, y ya tenía los round hits de otro amigo. Let's talk about where you got your families.
Okay.
Where'd you get your families from? The radios, the hatches, and the grays.
All the credit in the world goes to Circle M Diamond P, and that's Carlos and Mike Martinez.
Que todo el crédito es para Circle M, que es Carlos and who?
Mike, his brother.
Mike Martínez.
Mike's the number one brother. And I
Mike's
hope Carlos sees this video.
Ojalá que Carlos lo vea. Carlos y Mike son hermanos de
Sí,
Ricky Martínez,
yes.
de el pastor de Cascabeles, el que fue
Yeah.
pastor del año,
Right.
el
And,
año pasado.
their older brother, Bubba, is one of the greatest people you'll ever meet in your life.
Y el hermano también, el más grande, el Bobo, también es una persona muy fina.
And their mom's an angel, but
Y
they've
su mamá
taken,
es un ángel, la mamá.
they've taken me in like family. I mean, I've got to, when I go down to visit, Carlos lets me stay at the house. I mean, you know, we'll cook on the grill and hang out. But I really enjoy being in that area with them people, hanging out with them in that area. And it's kind of like when you get together. It's a comedy show that everybody else could sit around and watch with me and Carlos going back and forth. And then me and Mike, we team up on Carlos and bully Carlos. You know, it's
Cuando van
just a
para
good
allá
time.
se divierten y están jugando, cotoreando.
But
They've
got the best.
Tienen
In
los
my
mejores de
opinion.
familias. And your roundheads?
They come from Larry Whitehead,
Tienen de Larry Whitehead acá de South Carolina.
Tennessee, but he lives at the other end of Tennessee by North Carolina.
En Tennessee, pegado a North Carolina. Ahí saco los cabezas redondas.
Yeah.
They sold you the profile?
No, they give me the brood fowl.
Se lo regalaron. Everybody gets on my ass
Right.
about me getting free profile from different people.
Well, but now let me back up. We've all been together for 20, probably since 96 or 97. Me and Carlos and Lil Ricky and Mike and Bubba's been buddies. I mean, all the way back all them years ago.
Desde el 96 han sido amigos, ellos han sido familia.
I mean, but here's the deal. You know, it's like I told Carl when he gave me the hatch to begin with. I told Carl, I said, I'm going to bring them home and I'll raise them. And whatever, you just drive up to the house and get whatever you want. Or I'll haul them back to you if you need some pullets to breed or whatever. And we do a pretty good job of raising chickens. I know a lot of people differ on the way they raise chickens, but we don't lose chickens.
Right. Que él tiene otro diferente modo de cómo cría, talking about getting different families. Even the Martinez play around with a bunch of families, right?
I'm not going to talk about that. I love Mike. I love Mike too much.
Yeah, they can't help it. The fucking Mexican in them. They can't fucking help it.
I'm not answering that question.
They can't goddamn help it. It's a fucking Mexican in them.
I sure do love Mike Martinez. He's number one.
But, I mean, they started raising Hennies and Blacks and Japs.
But they're so healthy and pretty.
The Japs? Hennies?
Yes. But now I'm going to tell you something. They do a fabulous job of raising beautiful quality.
You like Hennies?
And Mike's number one.
You like Hennies?
Yeah, I'm going to go down. Carl called me the other day. They're
Hennies. Do you like Hennies?
So Mike's number one.
Okay,
and Bubba's a good guy.
Okay. But Hennies overall, do you like Hennies?
They're not for me. I'm a little older and wiser. When I was young, I would help anybody no matter what they had or what they had bred or whatever. You know, back when it was legal and I was like young and skinny and good looking, we'd go every weekend. I'd help anybody.
So
I used to handle.
When you lost that family from Wallace and it got bad,
yeah.
Why didn't you just go back? You could have got it from Plummer. You got from
we could have
O'Brien. You could have got from a dozen people.
Yes, sir.
And
I seen them this weekend. We sat and visited with them this weekend.
Or you could have got some from Martinez.
Yeah, I could have. But
why didn't you?
I'm ready. At this point in time in my life, I'm almost 50 years old, and I've seen everything come and go. And like Johnny me and him would talk on the phone for sometimes 2 hours, and Kimberly would get on to us and make us get off the phone. But Johnny always talked about stay solid, be solid, have solid. Well, I was all over the place like everybody does. But I've always worked my farm 7 days a week, and I've been through all the fads with everybody else. Well, now I'm done. I'm gonna stick with the hatch, the grays, the radios, and them roundheads as long as they stay good to me. I'll be great to them.
Okay. This is a weird question. If you took 10 of your ACL Kelsos from 2016,
Okay. I know where this
when
is
they were
going.
their prime,
I know.
and you took 10 of
Hatch
your
radios,
Hatch radios
gray
right
radios.
now, gray radios, and you did 10 against 10, how would it come out?
You more than likely would lose 20
No,
of.
no, 10 against 10.
That's what I'm getting at. More than likely, you would not have all 20 of them no more. That's how good they was and they are.
What would be the score?
There was right there.
What
Prime.
What would be the score?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question because I'm gonna tell you why. When Beto and Michael had them rolling, they'd stay in the 3-foot circle and maybe use that same rooster 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And I've watched the Hatch radios win and their gray radios and their Hatch grays win back when it was legal my whole life. It was like right there. So I don't know how to answer that question. But I would say this. You'd probably have, if you had 10 of them on tie cords on one row and 10 of them on tie cords on another row, at the end of the day, you'd probably have 18 or 20 empty tie cords.
But
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but do you think it's easier to lose an ACL family than an American family? Or do you think it's...
Yes, I do, and I'm going to tell you why. ACLs when they're up, they're all the way up. But the more with the experience we had, the more you breed them, and the more you breed the daughters and the cousins, and you bring in a hatch chicken and breed back to them, and you breed a Kelso to the hatch ACL pullets, the more inconsistent they get. They may weigh 4 pounds 6 ounces and have brothers that weigh 5 pounds 12 ounces, and these may be dark and these may be lemon. They was just inconsistent on all the crosses.
So maybe if you have that magic cross and magic brood cross, that magic ACL, you could have gone maybe 50-50 with your Hatch radio grays right now. But you're going to have these Hatch radio grays winning 80% for the next 20, 30 years. And the ACLs are going to be going downhill.
That's my opinion. I have to do what's best for me and my customers. Because here's my philosophy. I work a job, my wife works a job. When we come home in the evenings, we work another job right there in our backyard. When you rear back and raise 900 stags a year, and you have 200 coming bull stags, and you got a barn, and you got a job, and you got to mow, and you got to weed spray, and then in the winter you got to flop ice out of the bowls and put water in the bowls. Why not have the best?
Yeah.
When you're going to dedicate your life to something, it's like them guys that play professional golf. On their days off, they may hit 1,000 golf balls. So if you're going to have something and you have the ability to go buy what is the best, because here's the deal. If I travel and you travel and somebody calls me up and says, Toddy, what do you think about this? I can give you my honest opinion. And I'm going to tell you this, everybody calls me goofy and everybody calls you a clown or whatever. Everybody wants to be here when me and you's talking trash and laughing and joking, or me and Carlos or whomever. They want to be there listening to us laugh and joke, but then they want to run and talk about us, okay? You deserve a little more credit because of the miles and the hours you put into the rooster industry.
I'm not getting paid for this.
Well, no, I'm going to charge you for being here. You slept on my couch last night. That's going to be $60, and I bought you lunch today. You're about $72 in the hole right now. But getting back to what I was talking about, the dedication that goes into this lifestyle, Why try average when you can go obtain the best is what I've learned the hard way.
But the problem is, you get people like, and I'm not going to mention any names, but you get people, breeders, and he probably knows who I'm talking about, and I don't give a shit. But you get breeders who used to breed 500 stags
Okay.
8 years ago,
Right.
and now they breed 8,000 stags
Right.
or 5,000 stags,
Well-
and been selling 300-400 trios a year,
Right. Right.
and they don't have a problem with it.
Well,
They don't have a problem with just fucking people.
well, I'm gonna say this.
And it's not just that, and not just, and it's not all of them, but 90% of the big breeders do that shit.
Okay.
And I'll give you a story. Me and Brian, I've told the story a bunch of times. Me and Brian were at his house. Me and Brian Crocker fought together
Right.
for 4 years. We went to this white guy's house to buy huililas, Mexican carrot cages. And the guy had 300 hens running loose. And I asked him, are those crossed or pure hens? He goes, no, they're crossed hens. 3-4-way crosses. What do you want them for? Oh, all the American breeders come here and buy them for $25 and sell them as trios.
Okay.
When the sweater phase was coming along.
Right.
And they all do that.
Yeah. Me personally,
They all fucking do that. And you have these fucking Mexicans
yeah.
buying from the big shot breeders.
Right.
And I don't give a shit people talk about me. I mean, I say what I want. I say how I want it.
Well, see, I'm very
And I don't,
sensitive.
and I don't,
I worry. I'm very sensitive.
And I don't give a damn what people talk about me.
Right.
And people call me arrogant. They call me cocky. I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid to do interviews.
Right.
I don't fucking have anybody, I sell my products. I sell my tools. I sell my knives. I sell my boots. I do this because I want to help out Crockers.
Right.
If I talk shit about big breeders, I could get in trouble.
Right. Right. Well, you know,
But you have all these Mexicans buying stuff from big breeders who are mass producing fucking chickens. They got one fucking cock with 20 fucking hens.
right.
And they're just massing producing, and you have all these Mexicans going, thinking they're getting the best goddamn fucking rooster.
Right.
But then you have people like Jeff Husbeth,
Right. Class act.
who
Nice
only
place.
raise what they can raise.
Right.
And they say, you know what? After I sell my 80, 100 trios, I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah.
And I told Jeff a bunch of times, Jeff Husband, I go, how come you don't raise more? Because I want to sell quality.
Right.
Ding fair.
That's
Same goddamn thing.
right.
Ding fair. I went to his place. I go, how many you raising? He goes, I think like 700, 800. Dick, but you sell it out. Why? How come you don't sell more? He said, what for?
Right. Yeah, I'm a simple man myself. I would, and
And I'm going to get in trouble for this. I know I'm going to get in trouble.
well, but
I don't give a
here's the
shit.
deal.
Huh?
You know, it's kind of like me right now. I just learned a very, very, very valuable lesson. And I understand what you're saying completely because I was on the other side of that. I was the breeder who had all the inconsistent go bad product. They were healthy. They were nice. They were gentle. 2-2, 2-3, 2-4. You set them down, they cut their wing. You show them the feed cup, they jump up on your leg. They were perfect, but inconsistent. I got rid of that, and I went back to solid for me because I'm going to tell you why. Get back to working this farm 7 days a week. First of all, when we go to Mexico to visit the friends and family down there, I want to win. I don't want to get up here and stand up on a stage and say, oh, poor old Toddy sold this many trios this year. Look at me. I want me or my family or my friends, my amigos, to have quality, that they can be proud of my product, And that's why I work 7 days a week. I don't work 7 days a week to have bad reports. I don't work 7 days a week. And my wife works right beside me. My wife is the key to my success.
She's very lucky to have you.
She's a lucky girl. Yeah, I do need to throw that in there. You know, here's the deal. Back in the days when it was legal, we would round up and horse farm walk 70, 80, 90, call them down to 28 and go win. Okay. We had a system, and I said that to say this. We had a system back then that I still go by today. When I pin my stags, and I'm going to say this, I pin them at night with no light. My wife's got a light. I go in and I catch them, get them down, feel of them. I feel their toenails. I feel their body. If everything feels good, I hand them to my wife. She's got a headlight. She'll go put them in the wheeler, and then we put them to the stag pins. If I find a cull, I kill him. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason I do it in the dark with no headlight, I don't want to check that toe mark and say,
oh, he's pure.
Oh, he's pure.
He's from the brood cock.
Oh, my goodness. He's number one brood cock from my family. And, I got to, no. I cull in the dark.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't, well, you know how tight I am. I ain't gonna waste no damn money.
And you don't want emotions to get involved, and you don't want your emotions to get involved where you see that.
Well, two things. If I find a cull, I'm not gonna feed him because feed's too high. I'm not gonna sell him because he's a cull.
Right.
I'm not gonna keep him around and do all that extra work of flipping that ice out of that water bowl and dragging that hose. Because when it gets frozen around here, I shut my automatic water down.
You don't think those big breeders feel bad about selling junk?
I think, in my opinion,
it's been happening for years and years and years. Like I told you, it happened 25 years when me and Brian were fucking, fighting chickens.
Well,
I saw it happen back then when all the Alabama breeders were buying roosters for $25, hens for $25, and sell them as. And I know you don't want to talk about this, but they were selling pure sweaters as pure, and they're cross sweater hens.
Right. Right.
And you still have that happen right now. We know people who do that right now.
Right. Well, here's what I'm gonna focus on.
But you don't think they feel bad about that shit?
I think it's production nowadays. I think the rooster industry, if you had a big name 30 years ago and you've promoted it, you're still doing it. You're still who you are. You're still raising nice, beautiful chickens. That's what people want.
We went to go see Mr. Peck yesterday.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Peck Brown, James. So we went to go see Peck, and I mean, they got solid.
Solid. But now them chickens has always been solid.
Yeah.
You know, here's your deal. The old men, like we was talking about earlier in this interview, like my daddy, when he had them off-color chickens, they were his. When Mr. Peck was 40, he still got the chickens he's got today, and he's 72.
Yeah. Who's that guy he said that he used to fight with? Famous guy? Doc Robinson.
Doc Robinson. Okay.
And somebody, they argue with me. Oh, no, he got all the brood stock from Doc.
Right.
Oh, no, so-and-so. I won't mention his name either. From Louisiana, got all the brood stock from Doc Robinson. No, he didn't.
Right.
And
well, Peck was telling you about that yesterday.
And Peck, I got all the brood stock,
right.
And that guy from that state came over and wanted them, and I told him no.
Right.
And I've seen Peck people offer Peck, Mr. Peck Brown, big money for Yellow Hatch or Gilmore, and he won't sell a fucking feather.
Right. But now he goes back to them old school breeders. When he was a kid, and me and you was talking about this earlier, your raising is what you are.
Yeah. Like
my parents was broke, so I still act broke. You know, your parents was in the restaurant business, so you still eat lots of food. But back in Mr. Peck's days when he was young, nobody sold no chicken. You couldn't get a damn chicken unless you got him out of that pile.
Yeah, he won't sell you. He won't sell it.
You understand?
If I wish you would ask him for a yellow hat.
No, I got to joking
He
with
would
him.
have got that.
What did I tell him yesterday when he was talking about my chickens? He says, "One of them chickens won't breed one of my chickens." And he was joking with me, and I says, "Yeah, I understand. You know." And we were laughing and joking back and forth, but that's the way them old men was. They don't believe.
I guarantee.
And I'm gonna tell you this:
if you were asked him for a hen, for a yellow hen or
whatever, it would you'd had to fight him right there in his back porch. Yeah, you'd be like, "What'd you say?" And he would have. But now that's the way. When everybody is like on their second and third and fourth generation of rooster people, that's the way, by God, they're bred. The people are bred that way. You couldn't get one for love or money. And, you know, and they've all got that one story. Yeah, in 1977, I let my cousin have some, and he give them to that other guy, and then they're still arguing. And it's 40 years later. Yeah, I'm like, 1977, I'm still pissed off at him. Well, that's their mentality. And I'm gonna tell you something else.
Like Peg Brown, you said, are you what's it called, Gene Brown? No,
yeah.
Gene Brown's fucking.
Yeah, I said, I've heard of you. Are you Gene Brown? He said, no, hell no, I ain't Gene.
They're first cousins.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
And I like Gene. Me and Gene, we speak and talk every day.
They can't stand each other.
Lived in the same driveway or the same neighborhood or whatever. And I'm like,
I think Gene wanted to ask for a rooster. He'll just shoot him.
But, you know, and like I say, Gene and his son, I see them from time to time, and we always laugh and talk, and, you know, but, man, that's the way them old people was. They don't, to us, we come in and say, all right, I'm going to go to Texas and get my brood stock for my family, and I'm going to come here, and I'm going to set my rooster and that hen, and then I'm going to single mate that rooster, and I'm going to make my brood stock. That's the way me and you think, because we're looking to the future. Them old men look at their whole history, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like Mr. Peck, he's had that same family since 1977. He's still pissed off that his cousin give one away. Yeah. Well, when I roll up out there where I get my brood stock, I go out there and I say, Mike, come on, let's go look. And Carlos is like, no, I want in. And, you know, and then we laugh and joke, cut up and carry on. But we're looking to the future.
Okay, we'll go back to that situation though. They got the best grays, the best hatches,
and the best radios
anywhere in the earth.
Yeah, anywhere.
And they're looking for hennies and Japs and ACOs and.
Yeah, boy, Mike. Hey, I love Mike.
All of them.
Yeah, and they're gorgeous.
Jorge
healthy.
It's got 400 hennies.
Hey, Bert, at Carlos and Mike's, you pull up, the roosters cut their wings, they're red-headed.
Jorge Vasquez got 400 hennies.
Well, he's a good guy. But
all these motherfuckers got hennies now.
They're my friends, man.
They all got Japs. You know, here's the thing. My ACOs, they come from Plumber.
Uh-huh.
I went and I stole a personal broodcock that Plumber gave Bonbon, and I went to Bonbon, I go, Bonbon, I want this broodcock. He goes, it's yours. He gave it to me. I got hell for it. I had people calling me every day. And then I ate that penny from Lindell, personal gift. And I grabbed, Bonbon, please. He goes, God damn it, take him. Okay. My ACOs are good fucking ACOs. The reason I breed them is because people want them.
Yes.
And I'm going to get in trouble. I don't like ACOs.
Right.
And I shouldn't fucking say that because it's like me having a restaurant saying,
oh, I don't like my own food.
Yeah, don't get that fucking enchilada. That enchilada tastes kind of bad. Right, I mean, but it's like, okay, they're not my style.
Right.
I was raised, I mean, my grandpa, he loved, game motherfucking roosters. My Uncle Jalisco, rest in peace. He loved game roosters. He paid $500. I would pay my uncle $800 25 years ago, he charged me $800 for a Batacock. He goes, Uncle, I need some good roosters. He goes, how many you need? He goes, 6. I go, I got no money. He goes, okay, fine, go get them. How much are they? $800. Spar through them. They're ready to show. I go and pick them and I win the Derby. Mm-hmm. But
what breed was they?
My uncle bought from Oscar Aikens. He bought
So they
from
were
Brian.
good bred hatch.
Good bred hatch, Kelso, Yellow Leg.
Okay. We
The old time sweaters.
To keep going back to this hatch crosses when.
I tell you what,
and we've all been all over the place. We've all bred. It's been probably 3 years ago. Lad called me one day and we're talking on the phone. Dwayne Lackey's sitting next to him. And Lad, he's got the speakerphone there, and they're bullying me like they always do, and this and that and the other. And he says, Dwayne says, Todd Dickson, I got something for you. I said, what do you do? He says, I took my sweaters and my whites and my pumpkins, and I bred them all together.
Who was that?
Dwayne Lackey.
Hey.
I said, really? Yeah, boy, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And I kind of got quiet, and old lad says, hey, you still there? I said, yeah. I said, Dwayne, I got a question. Yeah. I said, so you going to breed white sweater pumpkins? Yeah. I said, are you mad at yourself?
You don't fuck yourself?
So, lad gets to laughing, and Dwayne's trying to hang the phone up.
Was it a true story though?
Yeah, it's a true story.
And he really was going to raise those?
Yeah, he was really going to raise those.
Did he?
Yes.
He did raise them.
Yes. Like 2 of them. Yeah.
So anyway, my Asios, they're good fucking roosters. And why do you think Asios do so good in Mexico? I'll ask you your opinion and I'll give you my opinion.
I'm going to tell you from experience, when ours was with Beto and Michael and just dominating, there was 2 things. Health, corta, 3-foot circle. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is everybody else was coming at them.
Rushing, yeah. Now nobody rushes.
So if they meet each other 12 rounds in a row, you got 6 and 6.
Yep.
And I think, in my opinion, that when ours started going down there, we had an advantage because everybody was running at us.
Yeah, you're right. Same thing with Butch. Butch was winning with topic cow wins because they're cut so good.
Yeah, if you walk at them or rush at them,
they stay there, and the other ones will rush, and then like right before 3 feet before they get there, they're like, what the hell? No, he's not.
And then they would.
Exactly.
And it was over. No, not stand around, not look around, not call for help. Over.
And I'll tell you one thing too. For me, they're super fucking healthy. They're
right.
They're healthier than the American roosters.
That's right.
Mexicans are notorious for feeding chickens.
Fat and full of feed.
8
ounces too fat.
Yeah.
And full of feed.
Yeah, fat and full feed. And Asios can fight good fat and full feed.
Right. That's right.
And that's why they do
They're
good.
the perfect Mexican chicken.
Right. And I'll ask you one thing. You've been to the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
And you've been in top competition in the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
And you've done okay.
Yeah. Well, I stay with Jin when I go over there.
Jin is a big...
Jin's a big...
Bulico, right?
Dom. He's one of them world slashers. He's one of them stag events and everything. And he's like an older brother to me. Him and his family took me and my wife in like family. And you talk about fun. Now, I mean, they put me and my wife in their Christmas family photo.
Oh, wow.
So we're all over there and we're hanging out and this and that and the other. And I mean... I run into Jin at the Bayou Club. He was with the Danger Boys, the 808 Danger Boys that I used to help. And we're all sitting around talking, and Marty told Jin, says, yeah, Todd's going to the Philippines. He's got a fiance over there he's finna bring to America. And this is like, 5 5 maybe. You've had to have been there, you know. But anyway, so old Jin's like, hey, Todd, you stay at my place, man. You stay at my place. Well, I fly in like December the 17th, and I had to fly home like January the 3rd or whatever the dates was. I ain't never met this joker in my life. Marty introduced me to him. We leave, like it's the World Championship in May. I called him. I said, hey, bud, I'm coming over. I'll be there like this date at this time. What's your address? I'll get a cab. He's like, no, we will get you. And they showed up with like security, and I'm like, and I'm a dumbass, Mark, so I ain't never been nowhere at that time.
Right.
And man, I land, and Kathy, she's a poor Filipino, ain't got nothing, living with her grandma, you know, going to college, and they like put us in like a Land Rover, and they got another Land Rover behind us,
wow.
and I mean, they just took us in like family. So we get there and stay at the farm with Jin, and then like the next morning, he's like, come on, Todd, we go to the Derby. And then it was every day, every afternoon. Well, it comes Christmas Day, and they're getting in there, and they done opened up, and man, they've got a big, huge production going on there, and this and that and other. And his daddy's name's Ashley, Papa Ashley. He's like, y'all come on in, it's time for the family photo, and this and that and other. So me and my wife, I get Kathy, and we get over out of the way, and Jin's like, hey, Todd. So we were going to go get on the end. No. In the middle. We all hugged up in the middle of their Christmas family photo.
Oh, wow.
We had known him about 8 days, 6 days, whatever it was.
Good people over there.
Oh, man, Jin, he's all aces in my book. Yeah.
But, okay, now I'm going to get you in trouble now.
No, I don't get in trouble.
No, you're in trouble. Okay, Jin, and you met a lot of good people over there, right?
Yes.
Who else did you fight with over there?
Just Jin. I stayed with June Mendoza, attorney June Mendoza. He fights under JM Fantastic over there.
And if Jin comes here, it's your house for him, and Mendoza too.
When I stayed,
any other Filipino that comes here?
So when
come on, no more Filipinos allowed here.
No. Hey, come on, listen. Don't get me in trouble. I'm gonna be honest.
Come on, be honest. Why won't you allow other Filipinos here?
Jin come one time, and he calls me up. Todd, we're in Dallas, and send me your address. I said, okay. So he shows up, and over at my daddy's house. So he's like, he gets out of the car, and he gets his bag, and like comes to the door. And I'm looking at his bags. He's like, hey, Todd, I'll stay with you maybe 10 days. I said, well, come on in. Hell, you open your house up to me. I'm opening my house up to you. And, man, we went everywhere together.
Nice.
Yeah, he is so funny.
So how come you want other Filipinos you're from?
I have a few Filipinos I can
Hey, you're not the only
with.
one. Most American breeders won't allow Filipinos at their farm.
Well, when I have a Filipino customer come to get brood chickens.
I more exaggerated, but here's how you do it.
Here's how I deal with Filipino people. I tell them I'm going to get off at 5 o'clock, be at my house. We all introduce ourselves, and I tell them, look here, do not pull one tail feather, because they like Mexicans. They use their tail as a handle.
Right.
Yeah, they got that big handle hanging out the back of them. You know, and if it's a good handle, it's got 8 tail feathers on each side. That's the Mexican and Filipino handle. And then they grab him like a soccer ball that they're fighting over, you know, in a scrum. And I just can't take that.
Right.
I can't. It's like you pushing on their feet and checking them and doing this and doing that. You just don't realize how close you've come. But with the Filipinos and the Hawaiianers, I got a group of Hawaiianers, the 808 Danger Boys, they come, and Marty, he'll go out there and pick up every damn chicken out there, and they look at the scale on this toe, and they look at that scale behind this spur. Okay. I said, Marty, there's chickens. I'm going to go feed. Right. Or when the Filipinos come, I said, there they are. Don't pull no tail feathers. Don't take one off out of a pen or off string. I'm going to go feed because they're so meticulous, so particular. And that's cool. I'm fine with that. I spend a lot of time selecting what I select and what I look for. But after a while, you either know what you're doing or you don't. I can walk through, and you can ask you next time you see Brian, me and Brian, I can walk through a yard. I said, boy, I like that one. And he's like, how do you do it? You've never seen these chickens. Okay. There's 400 here. How do you pick that one? And I said, well, I like that one. And I mean, we laugh about it.
Huh? Corcoran?
Yeah.
And okay, let me ask you one thing, though. In Philippines, competition compare Philippines to Mexico.
I'm going to say this about both places.
And don't be nice to Mexicans. Or just tell the honest truth. Where's the competition tougher?
I'm going to say this. Because I travel. Okay, let's say I travel. And let's say me and you go and we win in Mexico. When I come home, all the guys are going to be like, oh, Toddy got lucky again. Toddy and Victor got lucky. In the Philippines and in Mexico, it don't make a damn where you go. You better have your damn mind made up. You better damn well have them healthy. You really, 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 really need to have them sharp, because you're going to meet, if you go to, say, an Intercontinental or a Pit Masters type deal, you're going to meet 7 or 9 or whatever the case may be that you're going to have to completely be 1,000% correct to whip them.
Is it harder in the Philippines or Mexico? Where's the competition tougher?
In my opinion,
in
my opinion, Mexico, and I'm going to tell you why.
Really?
I think the Mexican style is the most brutal of anything ever right now.
Okay.
And it's the tools y'all use, the equipment y'all use.
But you think that the
because in the Philippines,
where they have better breeders, the Philippines or Mexico?
Well, it's just two different animals, and I'm gonna explain this. Everything goes in that 3-year cycle.
Right, even Philippines too.
Even in the Philippines, you know, you take some of the old Filipino guys that got credit for winning some of them derbies. They might have, see over there in the Philippines, they got all them islands. Whereas you fight 2 on your island, and if you win them 2, you move over 3 islands, and everybody that's won 2 comes to this island, and then you fight 2 here. And if you win 2 here, that puts you 4-0. Then you move to Manila to fight the last 3. All them associations and all them. Okay, you may win 2 right there next to your house, but you got to get on a boat or an airplane
to win those,
to go over here to win these 2.
You got to travel.
Right. Well, okay, let's say you're learn to travel and you go over there and you meet one of the boys from there, and he's got one he sparred 3,172 times. Because in Filipinos, they save a lot of their roosters to 3 and 4 years old, but they spar them every day.
They've been sparred
every day of his life.
How many times?
3,172.
They spar 2-3 times a day.
Oh, sometimes 6 times a day.
The same rooster.
Same rooster.
For 3 years.
For 3 years.
Except for the molt.
No, hell, oh yeah, except for the molt. Right. They start sparring when they get buttons.
This is why
it's unreal.
But this is why I think it's harder over there, though. Well, I think you have better selectors over there.
For what they do.
For what they do. I think you have better land in Mexico.
Yeah, because it's on the side of a hill, and there's green, and they've got drainage.
Where?
In the Philippines.
No, but I think the weather. Okay. I think there's more disease in Philippines.
It is, for a fact.
Than Mexico.
For a fact.
So, I mean, you have pros and cons. I think it's most of some Mexican places are really good land. There's not a lot of good land in Philippines, I think. It's very humid and it's very rainy.
Oh, very doubt. And a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of problems in the Philippines. Right. Typhoons, coconuts fall out of trees and hit roosters and kill them in the Philippines. Them damn coconuts with them husks on them, you don't realize how big they are. June Mendoza, he loses 6 roosters a year because them coconuts are about that big around and they're about that tall and they're full of water.
Right.
Well, hell, they'll be 70 or 80 feet up there in the damn tree, and if something comes and shakes or the wind blows and that joker falls, it'll kill a damn rooster.
A person too?
Or a person. Hey, on rainy weather, them coconuts will go in the ground that far. When they fall, you walk out there and you see holes all over the farm.
People kill people too?
I'm sure.
Okay, so what I'm getting at is that, over there you can hire people for dirt cheap. So you have
$2 a day.
$2 a day, 40 pesos al día, pagan. But you don't see a lot of aces over there, huh?
No, over there you got to go. Even their black chickens over there and their doms and their whites, you got to go.
But I see a lot of side by side though.
Well, in some of the areas they go side by side, and some of the areas and I mean the feathers fly, bud.
The bigger pits they go side by side.
Yeah, no, the bigger pits they go straight up. Smaller pits they do that side by side stuff.
Now you think there's an advantage a side by side rooster to a Russian rooster? I think there is.
I think there's disadvantages to a side by side rooster.
Really?
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Because Mexicans they were going up in the air, pulling on the rooster, going up in the air, back before Butch.
Right.
Butch came to the picture.
Right.
Side by
and
side.
Beto Michael was the
Beto
same.
Michael followed Bush.
And then
Beto Michael followed Bush.
That's right. But they was two in the same, a 3-foot circle.
Right, but
come here.
Bush started it.
Right. Okay.
Bush started it, and then Beto Michael's very smart.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for Michael and Beto Barbas too.
He's been here.
But Michael, I have a lot of respect for. For both of them, but Michael's, a lot of respect for that man, and he started that too,
Right.
Well, he continued it, but now I see they're going back to the other thing, pulling on the roosters again.
Right. That's right. Because they got to go get them.
But you know why though?
To go get them.
No, it's their ego.
Okay.
They can't stand
a
boring fight where they go side by. They want, oh no, I want to see him go up in the air.
Okay. All right. Let me get back to this walking side by side. My daddy was a 5-time undefeated Golden Glove champion boxer.
Oh, okay.
He says Julio Cesar Chavez was the greatest fighter ever. Mike Tyson was the greatest puncher ever. And I said that to say this. On our farm, we keep our roosters long and lean. Perfect little football bodies. I've had lots of Mexican guys come here and say, they're 2 ounces light, they're 3 ounces light. I said, yeah. Julio Cesar Chavez was the one my daddy said was the perfect boxer because he would walk around thin, bulk up, tone up, and go in,
right,
and then walk around thin. We do the same thing here.
Here, all right.
Okay. Now we want them to swing like Mike Tyson, but we want them to live like Julio Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
All right. On my daddy's philosophy of southpaw boxers versus conventional boxers. When them roosters walk around and turn sideways, there's going to be one that's 180 degrees wrong.
Yep.
And there's going to be one that's got that angle on him.
Right.
Well, in the Mexican version, if you get wrong 9 times in a row and let me get right 9 times in a row, you're going to have a long drive home. And I think even in today's society, you'll see boxing on TV and them commentators will talk about he's a southpaw, so he's got to get round. He's going to block more with his right and jab with his left.
Right.
Pacquiao can use both hands from any angle because he put in the time, the effort, the love, the dedication. He committed his life to this right here. But you take a southpaw boxer, you have to work his system to win.
Right.
Where a conventional boxer can knock you out straight, up, or side. That left-handed guy is more of a jabber worker, and that Mike Tyson is more of a knock you out.
Okay.
So I think it's a huge disadvantage for him to turn sideways for the one that's on the wrong side,
Wrong side.
of the angle of the participation.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense if you're stuck on the if my rooster's on the he's standing with his left foot right here.
Right. Because if you walk up and you got your left foot there and you cut your wing at him and he's facing you,
Right.
as soon as you turn around, guess what you are?
Right. I understand that.
That's the philosophy we use here at my house, and it goes back
But
to.
I did that all year long, and here's how my season started. My season started when me and Clark got together.
Right.
We done real good in January, and after that we couldn't win a goddamn fucking fight.
Okay.
We couldn't win. We couldn't win if our life depended on it. We couldn't
Right.
cut ourselves out of a paper bag.
Okay.
And what happened was we both wanted to be Batman.
Right.
You know.
And I see that a lot.
Yeah, we both wanted to be Batman. We both wanted to outshine the other master.
Right. Right.
And we couldn't win a goddamn fight. So we just said, we're still friends. We split up. He went up north. He started winning. I stayed down there. I started winning.
Right.
I started winning with, Cascabeles gave me the chance to feed for them.
Right.
But I didn't have a lot of roosters.
Right.
And I didn't have first pick.
Right.
And I've told that to, Cascabeles, but he's the only one that gave me the chance.
I've seen
Nobody else believed in me. I'm sorry to interrupt you. And the other day we kind of talked, and I said, you know what? If you want to keep feeding for you, I'd love to, and if you don't, I understand. But
Right.
I will always be grateful for what you did for me.
Right.
I will never forget that.
I'm and you've got on to me about it time and time here and there. I'm big about, I pay my credit where my credit's due.
Right.
And I will always do that, because it's like I tell people when they come here to.
Yesterday you were saying Circle M, you said Circle M like fucking goddamn.
Yeah, but I love
255 times.
Yeah, but I love Mike.
Yeah, I know you do. And I told
And
you,
I agree with you.
And I told you that. I go, you know what? And I'm not talking bad about Circle M or anything, but once they leave Circle M's place,
Right. And
they're your bloodlines.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm a humble.
And I may be stepping on toes here, but Circle M doesn't say, it doesn't call them jumper radios.
Right. No, and I understand that, but
you're so grateful
Right.
to Circle M what they done for you because they treated
well,
your family.
for me,
That yesterday you mentioned Circle M like a 2,000.
well, we was talking back and forth about this and that and other, and I am the, it's like I tell people when they come here to get chickens, I just work here. That's my simple, and I told you, I'm a simple man. That's one of my favorite songs. That's what I live by. I like to laugh and joke and play, but I will pay my credit to who took care of me when everything was going wrong. Yeah. They stepped in. They said, "Hey," and even Bubba talked about it. He said, "Hey, you're in the family," and we laugh and joke and play about it. But it's like I am grateful and respectful, and I still work 7 days a week.
So you know what? You're actually right, because I got you on this morning about the case. I go, why do you mention Circle M so many times? And you told me, the whole story,
Right.
And I told you, but they're your line now, but you still mention it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. People get sick and tired of me mentioning Cascabeles.
Right. Yeah.
And I was mentioning it because I can't, just like you can't forget what they did for you.
What they did
and
for
I
me.
can't forget
That's
what Cascabeles did for me.
And will continue to do. See, that's part of the deal. If I called him right now and said, "Hey, I need to borrow $36 to pay my light bill and water bill, and $172 to pay the light bill, and I need 2 gray pullets," he'd be like, "Well, damn, come on, I get you $200 and 2 gray pullets." But if it's just, that's the family relationship we have. It's kind of like,
But you're grateful to them.
You damn right.
And you're grateful to them, like me. I'm grateful to the people who helped me out.
Right.
And luckily, I've never been ever been fucked over by any cockfighters. Never. I've always had good luck with people.
Yeah.
And I've never ever had any cockfighters.
Well,
talk bad about me or open a farm up and steal my fowl and steal my families and take my name and I've never had any people like
Hey, get back to the interview.
I'm saying, have players have big hearts and I've never gotten a job for people and they say you know what, I don't need you anymore.
Have I ever told you I love Mike Martinez? No, he's the number one brother.
That's never happened to me.
Right, I understand, but no.
I mean, I've never made pale face, short, ugly roosters famous. And,
right.
And that person never talked to him again, or I've never.
I just work here.
Make people who sell candy in California who raise 50 roosters famous. And
right.
Now raise 3,000 roosters.
Right.
That's never happened to me.
I understand.
It's like
I understand.
It's a fairy tale, And I'm grateful to God because that's never happened to me.
Right.
Because Cocktail is so honest.
Well, all I can say,
I've never helped anybody open a bar and it gave me $80,000 and got fucked over and gave a job and that's never happened to me before. Life is good.
I understand, but it's like
Jesus Christ blessed me with good people.
Well, see, with me, if somebody called me wanting to borrow 80,000, I'm gonna hang up on them. That's your fault. But no, I mean, it goes back to this, and I comprehend what you're saying, but I'm so damn hard-headed. Once I make my mind up, that's what I'm gonna do because I feel like if I do good, have good, be good, good will come back. If you treat people good, it'll come back. And I'm just, don't get me wrong, if anybody needs anything, I'd do my best or try or whatever. I ain't perfect, but when you have that person or them people, no matter who it is that do you right or wrong, you always remember it. And for me, I will admit what went right, and I will admit what went wrong.
Oh, I'll give you an example. There's a saying in Spanish that says, and I got hate for this. I said, when I lose, it's not because I met a better rooster or a better team. I lost because I wasn't 100%.
Okay.
And I got hell for it.
Right.
Hell for it.
Right.
Oh, you're not giving fucking your people, person you're going against fucking credit, blah, 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 blah. And I go, look, I can get the best hatches in the goddamn world.
Right.
If I asked you for your personal brew cock, I could go and take it right now and you say, God, motherfucker, fucking Mexican.
That's right.
And I fucking take your best brew cock.
Right.
And I can go to Lindell, I can go Mr. Peck and get his best brew cock.
Right.
I can get the best hatches I want.
Right.
In my style that I want.
Right.
I can get best jelly cocks. I can go to Dink Fair. Dink Fair says, picture, Bugatti, and take whatever you want. I said, thank you, Dink. I don't need any. Thank you.
Right.
George Torres told me the same thing. A bunch of people told me the same thing.
Right.
So, I analyzed everything, right?
Right.
The day I went to go show, I said, okay, were you on your fucking phone all goddamn day, motherfucker?
Right.
Did you get up on time? Were you there the whole keep?
Right.
Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you set up everything? Did you set up the trailer right? Did your electrical go out? Everything. Were you focused?
Right. Right. And I understand what you're saying. I comprehend.
I'm a perfectionist.
It's like I tell people, if we happen to get by each round, and I always shake the other guy's hand and I pat him on the shoulder. I'm real humble and I'm real grateful for every round we get by. Right. And I always show my respect. But I understand I understand all of what you're saying because here's my deal. If I took care of them 365, if I did everything I was supposed to do at home, and I get the arena in Mexico and don't have no luck, either one of two things happen. I didn't do something right, or I met the number one perfect specimen that was better than me. And I'm going to be honest with you, back when it was legal, there was a time or two I told the other guy when I shook his hand and patted him on the back, Thank you, sir. Good round. I don't own one that can keep up with that one.
Right.
And it happens.
It's happened to me. But 90% of the time, that 10% of the time, I get out roostered. I get a better rooster.
Right.
But that 90% of the time, then I lose.
That's on you.
Then it's on me.
That's on you.
It's like one guy said, "Oh, so everything you do is your fault. Oh, so if my wife cheats on me, it's my fault." Well, who picked the fucking goddamn whore?
But no,
Right?
I understood what you said when you said it, and I seen you catch all the hell behind it. But I thought to myself, I said, this is my chance to bully him because I love bullying Bookerine. But I also understood what you were saying, but you were saying it
Wrong
like you said it wrong. Instead of saying, damn, I didn't do this Thursday and I didn't do that Friday. But I'm going to tell you something that nobody ever talks about in the rooster world. And that's from July to November. When it's hot, when it's dusty, when the allergies are out, when it's time to mow, when it's time to worm, when it's time to feed the best of the best of the best, to build the best bodies, to build the best feathers, when they're dropping them feathers and growing them feathers, a lot of rounds is won or lost during July to November of every year, because they'll be like, well, I let my son take care of them and we're going to go to the river or we're going to go to Florida, and then hunting season rolls around. Well, we're going to go to Colorado and we're going to go to Missouri, and then turkey season rolls around. Boy, we went over
Those are the white guys.
Yeah.
Now the Mexicans, they go to Mexico for 2-3 months.
Right.
And the feed stores, and I've seen all the feed stores that told me, I sell more scratch during the off season.
Right.
Than any time else, and this is when I should sell the best feed and the most vitamins.
You know, over there where we was yesterday with Mr. Brown, they were talking about this. We was talking about the same thing, and I told them what I fed, and one of the guys standing there, they're like, "Damn, that's the most expensive pellets they make." I said, "Yes, sure is."
Yeah.
They didn't comprehend, and they're good boys, they're good guys, they're good older gentlemen that we really look up to. They didn't understand what I was saying.
They didn't.
My chickens are getting the best right now that money can buy, for the very simple fact of when we go to Mexico to visit and when we hanging out with everybody, mine has had the best they could get, whether it be product, medicines, pellets, worm pills. It don't matter. You work your ass off from July to November, and it'll be a few more of them percentages. Me and you always talk about that. We always talk about the difference in this percentage and that percentage, and that percentage is very, very, very little money, little time, little effort, little worm pills. My Uncle Sammy, he used to talk about, he said there's 4 W's. Work, worm pills, water hose, win.
Right.
The 4 W's. And if you ain't going to do no work, don't buy no chickens.
Right.
If you ain't going to drag no damn water hose, don't buy no chickens. If you ain't going to get the best worm pills on the market, don't buy no chickens.
Right, you're right.
Because you damn sure ain't going to win. If you ain't got them 3 W's, you ain't going to get that 4th W.
You're right.
And it takes 4 W's to win a 4-cock.
Right, you're right.
And
right.
I'm a simple, small-minded man. You get on to me all the time about I'm in my rut, in my lane, in my program, and you'll call me and say, oh, so-and-so, Cascabelas did this, and little Ricky did that. And I'm like, man, congratulations. I'll tell the family. Right. Well, I'll be down there working when you call. Or you'll be down there doing your business, and you'll call, and tell them congratulations. But I still come home and go through my gate, go in my barn door, and I follow my 4 W's, chasing them 4 W's.
You're right.
At the Palenque. And I'm not a smart, I'm not educated, I'm not gonna win no Nobel Peace Prize or nothing. But I feel like if I can produce the best product available for me and my wife and my friends and my family and my customers, the legacy goes on.
Well, I remember when you were at Sunset, you were top competition.
We was, for what we had to work
Right.
with.
You got off the track with the Spangle Aces for a while.
Right.
But you didn't get off the track because you did good with them.
Right.
For that one part.
What?
But you were smart enough to see it
And move on.
and give away 408 roosters
That's right.
that were, at $300 a piece.
That's right.
That's $120,000 you get away for free.
That's right.
And your brood stock.
That's
and
right.
the hens.
That's right. And the crosses.
And the crosses. And start over.
That's right.
And that, to me, takes a lot of fucking balls.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, it was the work, the time, the effort, the 4 W's that went into them.
right. I mean, like I said, I'm grateful to Clark because he helped me out a lot. It didn't work out. But we're still friends.
Right. That's all we can do. Because here's my deal in life. Some of the people, let's say back in the day when it was legal, and I was handling for some of the people. Some of the times it worked, some of the times it didn't. Some of the times they had them fat and full of feed and I didn't say a word. Some of the times they would say, well, Todd should have done this or Todd could have done that. We put all that behind you. When you get up tomorrow morning, that's a new life, a new day, a new opportunity. You can't always look behind you. You got to look at the horizon.
Right.
You ain't got to look at the sunset. You understand?
Right.
You get up the next day and you're like, today's a new day. I'm going to up my percentages today.
No, and I'll tell you one thing. Of all those people that, did me right and the one that did me wrong, I thank him.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. And I'm here because of those people. And I'm where I'm sitting at because of those mistakes I made.
Right.
Those things I did right and the things I did wrong is where I'm at right now. And where I'm at right now is the best place.
Right.
And I'm blessed. And I'm blessed, agradecido con Dios that I'm here where I'm at right now.
That's correct. At my house, sleeping on my couch, getting to interview me, and look at good chickens.
Yeah, you should have. You watch yourself here.
Hell no.
Your puppy.
No, hell no. I love Lily Bear. We got to say we love Lily Bear. But I got a buddy of mine I went to school with, and he's a black guy, and big old ears, always smiling, always in trouble. The funniest, roughest, ain't scared of nothing dude I've ever met in my life. I could call him right now, and he'd be on his way. Donald Ray Brock. And we've been friends all our life, and he's one of the best people to me and ain't scared of nothing nowhere. He told me one time, he said, Toddy, let me tell you something. And he's a smooth talker. He's a cool dude. He said, let me tell you something, boy. I said, what you got, boy? He says, in life, there's 2 types of lessons. There's taught lessons and there's bought lessons.
Yep.
And we've both had our share of both.
Of both.
And I live by that. That's why if there's something, when a coach calls that timeout on a team, make the correct change.
Yeah.
Well, last year I called a timeout.
He made a big change. What does Nick Slavin say on losing?
Nick Saban, the coach at Alabama, he's one of my mentors. I listen
My
to a
mentor
lot of his quotes and speeches, and he can go 1 or 2 sentences and change your life. He said one time, he's got 2 sayings that I love, and one of the first ones was, you cannot teach unsuccessful people success. And I'm going to say that again. You cannot teach unsuccessful people success. Because it's all the way over here, 180 degrees away.
Because their daddy and mama taught them. Right.
Or they made bad choices, or they went down the wrong, or they're uncoachable.
A dunghill's a dunghill.
A dunghill's a dunghill.
And an ungrateful motherfucker's a grateful motherfucker.
Right.
And they can't help it.
There's
people who rob and steal and fuck you over. Not talking about what people fuck me over, right? I've never been fucked over. But they can't help it.
Right. You're right.
They cannot help it because that's the way they were raised. That's the way that's their genes. That's their blood. They cannot.
The way they were taught.
The way they're taught.
When you're taught something at 5 to 12 to 18 to 26 years old, nobody can change your mind at 31.
Nobody. I'll tell you one thing. I've told the story 1,000 times. My daddy, when he came from Mexico to the United States, he worked as a dishwasher.
Right.
In Acapulco. There's
Right.
a restaurant called Acapulco. The owner's name was Ray Marshall, rest in peace. So the owner, like my dad, my dad was very talkative and stuff.
What, was he a good guy?
My dad? He was a good guy. I wasn't a good guy. So anyway, he asked, "You have your high school?" I go, "Yeah, I finished my high school here in California." He goes, "I did my high school in Mexico and I finished 1 year here." I go, "Did you go to college?" I go, "No, I didn't go to college." Ask my dad. I go, "How come?" "Well, I just got married and I don't have any money and it's my second job here in California." And so he pushed him up to a cook's helper right away. And he was working real good. He pushed him up to a cook. Mm-hmm. That old man, Ray Marshall, his boss, not his relative, not his uncle, his boss paid for his college.
Right. Well, was that percentage?
My daddy said, "You never fucking forget
That's right.
who the fuck helped you out
That's right.
and where you came from." And I've always lived by that story.